New and great. Love this. Adele, Rolling in the Deep. BBC Radio Nottingham. I'm Mark Dennison. Afternoon. Thanks for all your messages about things that you've won. David in Sherwood said he sang the Ovaltine song on Radio Nottingham about 15 years ago. Came into reception to collect his prize, which was 12 jars of Ovaltine. That's what you need in your life. So it's not quite a new car like this bloke in Germany got, but it's Ovaltine and it's fine, and at least you didn't have to go through the pain of having a tattoo on your right, like he did. I won £4 million on the lottery, but unfortunately my alarm woke me up before I could actually collect it, says Neil, the taxi driver in Aspley. Craig James is a close-up magician who lives in Mansfield. Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Thanks for coming in. Have you won anything recently at all?
Not recently, no.
Do you enter competitions when you see all those things on TV, the 090 numbers?
No, I don't, I'm afraid, no.
Sometimes you have to take out a second mortgage just to get through, don't you?
It's expensive.
Yeah, too right. Now, I know you've had a bit of a traumatic time. We mentioned that there'd been an accident just outside the building, and I know you were actually around when that happened, so hopefully you've had a chance just to take a bit of a breath and you've recovered somewhat.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And fingers crossed the person involved in that is okay. You are a close-up magician, not originally from Mansfield, though, are you?
No, I'm not, no. Originally from South Wales, as obviously you can tell with the accent. But I met my wife 10 years ago from Sutton in Ashfield, who didn't want to move to the valleys. So basically I moved here.
Right. She didn't want to move to Wales?
No,
Why was that?
Mountains were too steep.
Oh, was that it? Bit of a climate change, I suppose,
it is,
as
yeah.
well.
Too cold, too wet.
It's a lovely part of the world. I was down there last summer.
It is a lovely
just
place.
a little bit further on. I'm trying to think of the nearest town that we were staying in. It'll come to me eventually. But it is a nice part of the world.
It is, yeah. It's very nice. It's very mountainous and very scenic. It's very picturesque.
Yeah. But now you're settled in Mansfield with your good lady.
Yeah.
What does she do, by the way?
She's bringing up our 6-year-old boy.
All right.
Yeah, so she's basically a housewife and she looks after our son Dylan.
Right.
And she's doing a cracking job too.
Fine Welsh name that as well.
It is, yes.
Dylan. Now, is magic what you do for a living? Is this?
It is, yeah. It's my living, hobby, career. It's my passion. It's what I do. So.
What made you want to do it?
Always been interested in magic as a child. And I sort of progressed. But as you get a little bit older, it's not cool to do magic. So I didn't fall out of love with it as such, but things like football came along and girls. And then several years ago I was working as an entertainer overseas, as an adult entertainer. Came back to Great Britain then and really couldn't settle back down into a normal job as such, and I needed to get back out entertaining. And then that's when I picked up the love of magic again. I thought, well, it's what I was into, it's what I love, and it's just come naturally, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
What were you doing abroad then? I'm interested in this phrase, an adult entertainer.
I know, it sounds a bit risque.
Yeah, it does a little bit. My ears pricked up there. I don't know what's going on. Can you explain?
Yeah, I was working for a holiday company abroad, working in an adults-only hotel.
Okay.
So I weren't looking after the children. It was a bit more sort of tongue-in-cheek.
Kind of a compare, kind of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
red coaty kind of.
Yeah, you could call it a red coat. Yeah, I was working every night. Me and my lovely wife. That's where I met her. We was basically the compares of an evening, putting on the shows, singing, dancing. Basically, all round family, your entertainment that you have abroad.
Yeah.
So it's really good times.
And that's where you met.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was she doing there?
She was doing the same same job, yeah.
Interesting. Does she do any magic now?
She's magic with a hoover. She's gonna kill me for that. No,
she probably is. You might want to just stay in town for a wee bit.
Yeah. No, she is basically sort of my magic guinea pig. When I come up with new ideas, routines, or I've got any creative ideas, I'll sort of put them forward to her and my best mate Steve. And basically they tell me what they think, if it works, if it's rubbish, or so basically she is my guinea pig, really.
Your sounding board.
Exactly.
Which I guess you need that as well, don't you? Because you can't just go out and...
Exactly, that's right. What I think might work or is entertaining or is magical, she'll just tell you straight, because obviously she wants me to succeed. She'll say, Craig, that's rubbish, or that's excellent. So it's good, honest feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems that magic is sort of all over the place at the minute. I mentioned earlier on, I've been seeing on ITV, Penn and Teller have been on there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Saturday nights on BBC One, there's the programme with Lenny Henry, The Magicians.
That's right, yeah.
What is it at the moment? It just seems to be back in fashion. Is that something you're aware of?
Yeah, well, I've noticed this. What was actually on the Penn and Teller show and the Magicians on BBC, it's not what I do. That's more cabaret magic. To be honest, my opinion of it is, I think over the last sort of several years we've had like dance competitions and singing like X Factor, Pop Idol, Britain's Got Talent, and I think it's just a way of bringing another entertainment form to the TV, which hasn't been done for several years since Paul Daniels in the 80s. But yeah, so it's good. It's coming back in vogue. And I'm hoping the general public are enjoying it.
Yeah, so. Okay. Well, we'll find out more about the kind of magic that you do. I know you've got a bit of an experiment. I was a little sort of tentative about magic on the radio. How would that work? But they did darts on the radio and snooker on the radio. Why
That's
not?
Right, yeah.
So we'll give something a whirl in a few moments' time. If you're into magic yourself, by the way, by all means, give us a bell. Nottingham 934 3434.
Your breakfast show on BBC Radio Nottingham.
Mark Dennison.
BBC Radio Nottingham.